Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Journey Back to My Truth. It's been a while, I know. A lot has happened. It's February of 2021, so we're approaching 1 year with COVID and being home, which has been a blessing and a curse for us, as it has for many, many people. A blessing because we've got to have a lot more time with our kids at home. But like a lot of people, we have been impacted financially terribly, used up most of our savings. It's just, it's just been hard. And I have had a lot of health issues. I was recently diagnosed with Lyme. On the one hand, I am so excited to finally have a diagnosis. I've been sick for about 10 years now. I don't know if I covered it in one of the earlier videos because it's not something I'm usually really public about. But about 10 years ago, I started getting really sick. And when it first happened, it was so bad that I couldn't even get out of bed. I couldn't walk up the stairs to kiss my kids goodnight. I was just too tired. And I distinctly remember wanting to bake my daughter's, I think it was her second birthday cake. She was having an African animal theme because she loves Africa and Diego. And I didn't have the energy to bake the cake. I remember being in the kitchen, sitting on a chair, and I would get the eggs in, and then I'd have to rest. And then I was using the counter to pull me around to go to the refrigerator to get out the milk. And then I'd have to rest. Or I guess the butter, whatever was in the cake. This was 8 years ago. But I distinctly remember pulling myself over to the refrigerator. By the time it was done, I said, come hell or high water, I was going to get the cake in the oven. And I did that day. Hell was close, but I did. I got it done. But then, by that point, I was too worn out. I couldn't decorate it, and I had to have my mom decorate it. So, to go from that level of exhaustion and pain, body pain all the time, I always feel like I have the flu. In fact, there's been like 3 or 4 times that I've gone to the doctor and the kids have the flu, and she's like, do you have it? I was like, oh, I don't think so. And she tests me, and I do. I have the flu. So I always feel like I have the flu, so much so that when I have it, I don't even know. So this has been my life for the last 10 years. It got better in the fact that I learned how to cope. Going gluten-free allowed me to have enough energy that I didn't have to be bedbound anymore. I only needed, a nap a day or two. And then eventually I got to the point where I took advanced TRS. That was another game changer. And then I didn't need naps anymore either. But I still have the body pain all the time. And then I started having brain issues. And it was to the point where I'm an attorney, and I couldn't practice law anymore because I was just couldn't remember statutes quick enough to be able to make objections in court. And then started making transactional law, and I was worried I was messing that up too because I'd say the wrong thing to clients and not even know it. That's one of the neurological symptoms I have. And I went to the Cleveland Clinic, and they couldn't figure out anything was wrong, and I had a infectious disease doctor there blow me off and tell me I was crazy. Researching on my own, I said I think it was Lyme because I've had all of these symptoms with Lyme. And they said, nope, that's not it. And then so they told me I was fine, sent me home. Recommended I see a psychiatrist. Another guy did, a neurologist, said, oh, see a psychiatrist. That's what you should do. And so I didn't want to, I've been seeing counselors and stuff my whole life. But, well, not my whole life, but off and on, because we've had other children who've needed counseling. I had mental illness when I was a teenager. So I feel like that part has really been done already. So I didn't think that was it, but he seemed to think that the stress from my childhood was causing all these symptoms. Talk about feeling dismissed and unheard because nothing could be further from the truth. If you knew my parents, they were the most loving, amazing people who never pushed us to do anything more than what we wanted to do. Not even a little bit true. So for years, I've just been kind of stuck. And then I find out, just awful, my daughter has suddenly developed these terrible, terrible allergies where her lips swell, her throat closes, her face breaks out like she's some like weightlifter on steroids, like, and she's beautiful. Oh, she's so gorgeous. And so to see this on her is just terrible. It was to the point where she was eating just rice because she kept reacting to everything and we don't know what's causing it. So that has all been very stressful as well. The blessing in this is that the allergist we took her to asked for a family history. And so I started telling her about what I've been dealing with. She stops and she looks at me and she's like, wait, you've just been dealing with this for 10 years? And I said, yeah. She's like, and nobody's helped you? I said, yeah. She's like, make an appointment. So I did, and she ran a bunch of tests, and Lyme. This whole time, Lyme. And I've been saying it for years, and everybody told me I wasn't. And so it's nice to know what it is, but really frustrating. So I'm in the process of taking Doxy now, which I don't know if that's the right decision. So many people have differing opinions on how to fix Lyme. Whether or not the problems I have are permanent. There's just a lot. And I'm so tired. I mean, look, I look terrible. I look like a sick person. It's just from starting this treatment. So I had talked with my pastor this week because I'm struggling. And the deacon who was there said something that really hit home to me. She said, because I'm crying, because I feel like I should be strong. I've always been the person who does and goes through, and I'm just to the point I can't right now. It's my health's bad, watching my daughter's bad, our finances are bad. I mean, the stress, on my marriage isn't great. My other kids are struggling. The middle daughter has some health issues that we're trying to figure out. It's just a lot, and it's hard, and I usually am the one who had it all together, and I don't, and now I have to ask for help, and that's really hard for me. And I never talk about my personal stuff because I just feel like I should be able to handle it. And she said, well, it helps to share even the things you're going through that are hard because somebody else could hear it and not feel so alone. And that really struck me. But then I kind of just let it marinate and move on. And then I was on YouTube listening to meditations, just trying to calm my system and everything. And one of the things that came up was talked about how your mess is your message. The things that you have gone through and are dealing with and overcome can be inspirational to other people. So I kind of feel like the universe is telling me it's time. It's time to share. It's time to talk about who I am and what I'm going through and just be authentic. And I can tell you right now, I don't have the time or energy to do all the little edits, to add the titles and all of that. Hopefully this treatment will work and I'll get better. So I'll be able to do that in the future. But for right now, this is just going to be more of a daily vlog of my journey and where I'm at. Because right now, I mean, we're doing a lot of stuff that's interesting. I'm trying to learn how to grow microgreens now and do organic farming because I need to figure out a way to feed my daughter because she can only eat organic food. and that crap's expensive. So I'm taking up greenhouse gardening and trying to figure out how to grow microgreens in my basement. And we have just taken on growing some quail. We just hatched a chicken. Because when the pandemic happened with food insecurity, we wanted to be sure we'd be okay. So we've been raising poultry now, which is something new for me, but some people might find it interesting. I don't know. We just have a lot going on. So I'm going to share this. And the big thing that I'm going to do as of today is I'm also starting my year of gratitude. When everything else feels so out of control, the one thing I can control is myself and my attitude. And everybody talks about the power of gratitude. So I've decided I'm going to write a thank you note to somebody every day for a year. And we'll see. We'll see how my life changes.